Welcome, everybody. This is the Movie Busters, episode 17.
Woo!
Hi.
And this episode is Guilty Pleasures. We're going to talk about,
DiCaprio is a struggling actor.
oh, hold on.
And
God
Brad
damn it.
Pitt's a stunt double.
God damn it. Sorry about that.
What was that?
Stupid. The next video played automatically.
What video was that?
I don't know. I guess that's the best one. But okay, sorry about that. This is episode 17 of the Movie Busters. We bust movies for our spare time.
We bust them wide open. That's what we do.
But of course, I'm Alex 2.0. I'm joined by Dan, aka Rocky Balboa 101.
Howdy.
Rob's Collection. And Thomas, aka Horror Fan 34. Aka he wasn't the last one to show up this time.
That's right. I kept my promise today.
Charlie Brown finally got to kick the football.
I was last.
It's all right. It happens. First time for everyone. Last one weekend. Who wants to go first in your favorite guilty pleasures? Top 5. It's top 5 guys, by the way.
And Chuck Ball is the first one to comment again.
Of course.
So who wants to go first for guilty pleasures?
Who has the most in their list?
I have only 6.
Five.
I know it's top 5, but like sometimes you got your honorable mentions or whatever.
I have 6 of them, I think. No, yeah, I got 6 mentions.
6 in total or 6 extra?
I have some.
So yeah, either Rob or Thomas can go first.
Why don't we let Rob?
Gonna wait. I'll wait and list my just a couple honorable mentions at the end, like at the end of the, when we're.
Yeah.
Well, you want me to go first? I'll go first.
You know what, Rob? I'll do the same thing you're doing. I'll do my honorable mentions at the end too.
All right. Rob. Yeah, Rob.
So, Rob, why don't you go?
All right. Number 5 for me is I like honestly, I know a lot of people make fun of this, and I still think today it's one of the, even though it's the only live action version of this movie, I still think it holds up good today because it does have the nostalgic factor, and it is Masters of the Universe.
I have a feeling you're gonna say that.
Nice.
Dolph Lundgren, Courtney Cox, Frank Langella as Skeletor. Honestly, there were certain things about this movie that kind of scared me when I was younger, like when the sorceress would get like she got older, frail, and like I don't know what it was about that. Like it always kind of freaked me out. And I know a lot of people were kind of upset at the villains in this because none of the villains I don't think were in the cartoon. Like Korg, he wasn't a villain in the cartoon. But like I don't know, I think Dolph Lundgren was the perfect he just was like the perfect He-Man, I think. So I have it here on Blu-ray.
I can agree with that.
But Skeletor is one of the main villains in the cartoon, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but I'm talking about his henchmen in the movie. I think I'm not sure if I think Beastman was in it, wasn't he? Beastman.
I think there was someone that was like Beastman. And coming from, I mean, I was a huge He-Man fan, and I had all these. And I mean, Rob is correct that the standard villains that were in, the comics and in the cartoon were not in this movie. Like Trapjaw and Merman and Fisto. These are main characters, and a lot of the villains were just made for the movie. So I agree with that.
Yeah, but still, I still think it kind of holds up as one of those cheesy, like blockbusters. Like kind of like G.I. Joe is. It's what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, Rise of Cobra.
So anyway, what?
Rise of Cobra, both G.I. Joe movies.
Yeah, like Rise of Cobra was,
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's my number 5.
Interesting fact about He-Man. The original idea for He-Man was Stallone.
I believe that's true.
That makes sense because he was, it was back in the 80s. So.
Well, Stallone in the 80s was really big.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see why. But I think Stallone said, no, why don't you get Dolph? Because he was like, they would be pretty good friends with Dolph at that time. I think they still are today.
So before we go on to the next person.
Yeah, because this was 1980. This was 1987, so.
Oh, yeah. So what was Rocky 4? 87 too?
85. 85.
Oh, wow. It was 85. I could have swore like Rocky 4 was 88 and then Rocky 5 was like 90.
Rocky 5 was 90, but there was a 5-year gap.
I could have swore Rocky 4 was like 87 or 88. Wow.
So
it's 85.
So I got a question, Rob. So were you disappointed as a kid that there was never a sequel to Masters of the Universe?
I don't know. It was movies that I thought was, it was really good, but I just didn't. It was kind of one of those that you just kind of put on the back burner. I mean, after I got it on like DVD, I kind of wish that they would make a sequel, but
yeah.
All right. Comments. We got Kenneth Rogers.
Oh yeah. Hey Dan, Kenny's here.
Yeah. How you doing, Kenny?
What's
Long
up,
time.
Kenny?
What's up, Kenny?
All time subscriber. Goes way back.
Yeah, Kenny's awesome.
Okay.
Wow, that's
he's like the first. He's like one of the first subs ever to like my channel back then.
Mm-hmm. I remember too when I first started like my old channel.
It's good to see you. I'm the one that brought everyone together.
Yeah, Alex was the one that really put this team together.
I've been behind the whole time. Told you. All right. They are close friends.
Just to add to the Master of the Universe, I can remember seeing that in the movie theater, and exactly what Rob was saying. Like I was like, oh, I'm like, who are these characters? I'm like,
yeah,
like the good guys. Some of them.
I mean,
where's Urko? Where's Ram Man? For years, I never knew there was a tag at the end of the credits for that movie. Never knew that.
By the way, Kenneth and Chucky Dog, you guys got to see the intro. That was made by Rob. He made that intro, so credit to him. I do want to I forgot to mention that. And yeah, he did a good job. It was really cool.
I copied off Ghostbusters. Well,
the Ghostbusters song that was my idea. So hey, that was my idea.
I copied.
I know you did, but I the one that told you to copy it.
Who came up with the movie Buster's name? Wasn't that me?
I think that was you, because we're just spinning about names. Like, I wanted to make
Give
sure.
some credit.
Yeah.
Give him credit. Give him some credit.
I gave credit for the intro. What more you want?
Where am I at in this whole thing?
Thomas, you need to get your game on.
Yeah. Thomas brings the food.
I eat.
Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah, Masters of the Universe does interesting thing. I know that has a huge cult following.
I know you're a big fan of Masters of the Universe. Like, really, that's a unique choice. I'll give you that. It's a really unique choice. Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Thomas, you want to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. Just give me, I want to make sure my list is in the right order.
Yeah,
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
my number 5 is right here. It's a film that I remember seeing back in the day when I was a kid. Even though it wasn't the first of the franchise I saw, I still consider this like the guilty pleasure of the series, and of course, that is Batman Forever.
Really? That one?
Yeah, Batman Forever.
Good one.
Are you sure?
That's a good one.
The other. I a few years ago, I thought that was a guilty pleasure, Batman and Robin. Nowadays, I think it just sucks asshole. Even though Batman and Robin was the first one that I did see as a kid, but nowadays it's shit. It really is. This is definitely the more guilty pleasure one for me, because even though there are some goofy elements in the movie, there are still some aspects of this film that are really, really well done. Because I think that had a lot to do with the fact that Tim Burton was an executive producer on this. So,
or maybe
he did.
I'm sorry, or maybe Joel Schumacher is not as bad as director you used to think.
No, he is.
No,
Dude. I mean, and people,
that's more good movies than bad.
But the backstory with the film, Batman Returns got a lot of backlash for being too dark, and the advertisings cut their ties with Warner Brothers, and they got mad about that. So they let Tim Burton go. Here they got Joel Schumacher. Michael Keaton didn't want to come back because he didn't like the tone they were going to do. So, of course, they got Val Kilmer as Batman, and they bought out whatchamacallit's contract, Billy D. Williams to play Two-Face, and they got Tommy Lee Jones. They got Jim Carrey as the Riddler, Nicole Kidman as Dr. Chase Meridian, and Chris O'Donnell as Robin. But there are goofy stuff. Like it's very, especially in like the very beginning. You have the security guard saying, "Oh my God, it's acid, boiling acid," like that, like those kind of over the top things. And I will say the one reason why it's a guilty pleasure is Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, because he basically is Joker 2.0. If you really think about it, he's really playing Joker's twin. Just to come out over the top, he is, and he laughs like the Joker pretty much. I mean, but I will say the highlight of the film is Jim Carrey's the Riddler. He's just so entertaining to watch. I really like the look of the suit that Jim Carrey has as the Riddler with all the question marks. I like the look of the suit. I mean, and of course, it's guilty pleasure because, Jim Carrey always spouts out all those lines, and especially the point where he has like the brainwave helmet on. He's like transporting his brainwaves to another guy, and he's making that like being over the top like that, like he's vibrating.
Ace Ventura again. 2.0.
Yeah, pretty much. But
Kenny said that Joel Schumacher, he did Lost Boys. Falling Down is fantastic.
Yeah.
Phone is fantastic too.
The Client.
Flatliners.
Hello.
Don't forget one of his early ones, DC Cab.
Yeah.
DC Cab. I really enjoyed DC Cab too.
And Phantom of the Opera musical, Dan, huh? Don't you want that? Don't you like that?
Yeah, but
Grease.
I think I remember around the time, like even when Batman Begins came out and things like that, this was still, or I think this was the second highest grossing. No, maybe the third highest. Well, at the time, it had the biggest opening weekend ever at the time it came out, and all kinds of merchandise and things like that. And then that kind of got screwed over with Batman and Robin, where they tried to make it more for toys and things like that. While this one is a guilty pleasure, but it also does try to take things seriously. That's why I kind of consider it a guilty pleasure, because it's not completely, cheesy and things like that. Because there are some good elements in the film, especially you get some cool shots where when Jim Carrey's Riddler's screaming at the end, you see the bat flying towards him. I always thought that was kind of creepy as a kid, like the way the bat looked and things like that. I really like those scenes. And like I said, Jim Carrey's a lot of fun. I like the musical score by who was it? Who did the music for this? Elliot Goldenthal. I thought he did a good job. I actually think it's a pretty good score. I probably wouldn't say it's as good as the Tim Burton Batman music, but I still think it's a pretty decent score. And on top of that, too, I love the way the intro goes, when the Warner Brothers logo morphs into the bat symbol and you get the music started to build up, and then you see like all the actors' names flying towards the screen in different colors, and then the bat thing, the bat signal or the bat logo pops up on screen and just says "Forever" right across the top. And yeah, but like there's some cheesy stuff in this, I'll get drive through, or your entrance was good, his was better. There are some cheesy elements in it, and I will admit, Chris O'Donnell was a pretty decent Robin. I thought he was way worse than Batman and Robin, but Chris O'Donnell, he does some cheesy stuff in the movie, but overall, this movie is still enjoyable to watch. It's not a completely cheesy movie, but it does have cheesy elements in the movie. And, Joel Schumacher did some pretty decent stuff with this, I will say. But sadly, he went off the rails in Batman and Robin, sadly. But I'm just reading some of Kenny's comments. I remember he said Batman Returns had a lot of marketing and merchandise. McDonald's. Yeah, McDonald's was supposed to advertise Batman Returns, but they cut it because it was dark.
Yeah.
Batman Returns and things like that. But overall, I remember, I still enjoy this film to this day. It's got cheesy elements, but I still think it's a pretty good movie. I like Batman Forever. That's why it's my number 5.
Okay, cool. Dan,
you can go next, Dan.
Just real quick, I actually like Batman Returns more than Batman 89.
That's fair.
I do that more and more. I don't agree, but yeah, I hear that.
I still say Batman 89 is my favorite of the two, but Batman Returns, the more I watch it, the more I love it. So maybe it might be overtaking the number 1 spot in Burton.
The more I watch
Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Batman and Robin. Okay, shut up. Batman and Robin.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
feel
hear
like
you.
I'm talking too loud. Okay.
I can hear you fine. Yeah. All right, Dan, you want to go next? You can go next.
Sure. Everett, can you guys hear me? I was hearing a lot of skipping. Is it good?
No.
Or?
I can hear you.
No.
Just as long as we don't interrupt each other too much.
What?
As long as we don't interrupt each other too much.
Okay. So. What?
Sorry about that.
All right. So my number 5 is a movie that I actually grew up with and watched it a lot, and Rob and I watched it a lot as well. It's a movie that it has like one thing going for it that's really good, and that's actually why it's a guilty pleasure. And the rest of everything else is pretty bad, but it's one of those things where it's so bad it's good. So it's currently holding a 5.7 on IMDb. I would probably actually rank it maybe a little higher just because of the guilty pleasure of it. But Rob, do you want to take a guess on what my number 5 is?
No Retreat, No Surrender.
Yep.
Wow. All right.
So, have you guys seen that movie?
No.
I have not seen it. No.
So this is
awesome.
classic 80s. This is classic 80s cheese, but it's got really good fight choreography. And of course, this is Van Damme's first film, and he plays a villain.
That's right. Yeah,
but,
I remember seeing him in the cast. Yeah, that's right.
But this is definitely a guilty pleasure. The acting is so terrible in this movie. It's so fun to watch, and there's many memorable scenes just because of the terrible acting. And the plot's pretty far out there as well. You got this guy that's a karate dojo. These other guys come. They're like, "Don't join us. We're gonna beat you up," and that's essentially what they do. So then they move away from that, and the main kid, which is the son of the dad, he can't make any friends, and so he goes and prays to Bruce Lee to come home, and Bruce Lee's ghost comes. And and Bruce Lee's ghost comes and helps train him, and then he just gets good at karate, but it really doesn't matter because there's this tournament. And what?
No, I think it's what's going on. I think sometimes there's an echo.
Yeah, I don't know how good you guys are coming in really skippy. So
I mean, it just happens. I don't know.
But anyway, it ends it. This girl that the main guy likes. Her brother is in a karate tournament, and Van Damme cheats, and so the guy jumps in and fights Van Damme and beats him, and that's the end of the movie. It's got a lot of actually entertaining 80s music in it. I guess it's bad 80s music, but it's good in a way as well. It's memorable, and it's like a B version of Rocky music.
Right.
But it's still a fun movie to watch because it has really good karate in it, really good fight scenes, good choreography. But it's it's definitely a movie that we make fun of all the time, and it's I just love watching it. So that's my number 5.
Just to clarify, there is a international cut and there's an American cut, and I believe the American cut is a lot better because music's better, and I think the cuts are better than the American cut.
Now, is that the one with breadsticks?
What?
Is that the one with breadsticks?
No, that's Over the Top.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Because that's also a Van Damme, or is that a Stallone movie, Over the Top?
Stallone. You never seen Over the Top?
No.
Oh my God! You need to get what?
I think I mentioned that before. I'm not sure.
I don't ever remember that. You need to get on watching that.
Yeah, I know.
You should.
Just to see that.
When you do it, you need to take your shirt off and rub your muscles with baby oil because that's what it does to you.
I mean, I would, but what muscles?
Whatever muscles you have. Whatever muscles you have.
All right. Oh, hold on. It's getting blurry for some reason. It does that. It's gonna fix itself. Come on.
You're blurry. Oh.
I know. It fucking does that. It's like so.
Why are we having problems tonight?
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. Okay, that's good. It's good. All right.
Because
So,
of the coronavirus. Fuck it.
yeah, it's infected StreamYard and YouTube. But the show must go on. Interesting pick.
Play that Queen song. Show must go on.
That's a really good pick, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still gotta give this a look though one day though. It's one of the few Van Damme films I haven't seen yet.
All right. Okay.
Alex?
My number 5 is a movie. It's funny because I saw it as a kid one time, and I forgot about it a little bit. I just never knew the name of the movie, and until years later on, I found out what it was, and I found out it was a huge, like not a huge cult classic, but it had a cult following. And so, you want to take a guess of that? Anyone? I'm about to say.
I don't know.
Is it based on a video game?
No.
Is it a superhero movie?
No.
Action?
No.
Comedy?
No. Well, yeah, but not intentional.
Oh,
I'll just say
is it?
it's
What's that?
what?
Wait, what did you say?
I was about to say it, but
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know what it is then.
okay, it's Troll 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it as a kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
My God.
I saw it as a kid on TV one time. The scenes that I saw stuck with me, but I didn't know the name of the movie. So for years I was like, what the hell was that movie? And then like I saw that clip on YouTube, the oh my God scene, and then I was like, what the hell is that movie? So I finally saw it like from beginning to end. I was like, and then when I got to the scenes that I saw as a kid, I was like, holy shit, it's that fucking movie. Troll 2, oh my God. Like, I thought I was like the only one who ever saw that one. Yeah, like if you guys are familiar with the movie, it's pretty much about family.
Great pleasure.
Yeah, it's a family that goes on a vacation in a different house, and the town they go to is Nilbog, aka it's goblin spelled backwards.
Yeah.
First of all, it doesn't make sense. Like they switch houses with another family. It's like, okay, who does that shit? Unless it's like a reality TV show. And you have the dead grandpa, who's a ghost who was always talking to the little kid. You got the scenes with the witch. She's like all over the top. Like, this is my house. And it's like I remember like the scenes I saw as a kid. I remember like when the little boy pisses all over on the food, and then his dad goes into the room. He's like, "You can't piss up hospitality. I won't allow it."
It's kind of like it's like the precursor to R. Kelly.
Yeah.
He's pissing on people,
so to speak. But yeah, I mean, and it's funny. It's called Troll 2. Yeah, there's no trolls in it. It has nothing to do with the first Troll movie. It's about goblins. Mm-hmm. And it had. If you guys seen the I recommend this documentary about the movie. It's called Best Worst Movie. It's talking about like what happened behind the scenes and what the acting up to. Documentary is pretty sad because like you feel bad for the guy who played the grandpa. He's like a lonely old man. It's sad. And the actress who played the mom, she's not all there. It's kind of sad. But it's a great documentary though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Troll 2. It's just a comedy from beginning to end. It's not supposed to be. And the ending of the movie it's dark. It's dark as hell. But yeah. So that's my number 5, Troll 2.
Wow, we got pretty good choices so far.
Yeah.
We got He-Man, Batman, No Retreat, No Surrender, and Troll 2.
Mm-hmm. But
really
more interesting, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely getting more. I wonder what's going to be number 4 now.
Number 4. Rob.
Who wants to go in numero 4?
Rob can go. We can still go in the same order.
We can go, yeah, let's go the same order.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Just letting you guys
this
know,
is
like your audio is skipping really bad on my end. Like I'm barely able to make out anything anyone's saying. I just am letting you know. If I'm quiet, it's because I'm not really hearing what's going on.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's like, can you hear me like fine right now?
You're skipping bad.
Okay, so it's just maybe your end, I guess. I don't know.
you guys are all fine. Seem fine on my end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you seem okay on my end too.
Same with me.
Yeah, the video seems to be working. It's the audio.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Dan?
Every time everyone's talking, it's skipping. All three of you.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just Dan's end, I guess.
Do you think it's because we're talking all at the same time? Probably.
I don't know if I should back out and come back in or if that screwed it up.
You can try that. See if that helps you.
Just have him back out and then send it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got knocked out before and it didn't screw up. It was still alive. I just came back in.
Let's see, because Dan's on his phone, so maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure.
Oh, Dan's on his phone?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was using a home computer.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like.
No, I don't.
You know,
I don't have a camera.
Just get out of the stream and then come back, and then I'll bring you back. See if that works.
Okay. Okay.
If I send
yeah, don't worry, folks. Dan will be back. It's just audio problems on his end.
if I have
But
to-
I mean, do you want to continue on, Rob, with your number 4? Do you want to wait till Dan gets back in?
I'll probably I'll wait till he gets back.
Okay. You guys don't hear that, do you? All that barking.
oh yeah, I hear it loud and clear, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I hear it.
Yep, that's my dogs.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I probably should have just told Dan to come over because I'm just kind of like nervous about this virus thing, so that's why.
No,
Yeah,
it's understandable.
It's understandable, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I know, but I don't know. It doesn't feel the same without him here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Kenny, those are my dogs.
Hey, Thomas, when you're not talking and you don't feel the need to talk, you can just always mute yourself so we don't have to hear the barking. It's up to you.
Oh, like I just mute.
The barking doesn't bother me.
I mean, it's just a.
I mean, the barking is not like overly loud, so it's not really that.
Well, you know why? Because we're upstairs. That's why.
Okay, we got him back. How do we sound now?
You sound.
I can't hear. I can make out what you said.
I'm hearing you fine.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's continue.
All right, Rob.
Number 4.
Okay, my number 4. This movie is hated by pretty much almost everybody, and it is considered the worst in the series. But I don't think I may put it at the end as far as my list goes, but I don't hate it, and I think I actually like most of the things in this movie, and it is Rocky V.
I knew it. I knew it
All
was
right.
Yeah. To a lot of people, this movie is disappointing because, for one, Rocky's pretty much a trainer. He's not really in the ring. But I think the street fight at the end makes up for that. I love the street fight. And I do like Tommy Morrison as done. Like, I thought I don't know. I liked him. He's not really, you almost feel sorry for him because he's kind of not really a villain per se. He's just more like being steered the wrong way. And I kind of like how Rocky's trying to help him go the right way, but he's getting influenced by, the George Washington Duke character. But I think where this movie shines is between Rocky and Adrian. Like, honestly, I love, even in the work print, the Rocky V work print, there's things in that work print that I thought they should have kept this for like Rocky and Adrian, being together and stuff. But I honestly, the things with his son, I think are okay, but it's a little bit over the top. But all in all, I think this movie's not as bad as people say. Like, people shit on this movie, and I really don't get it, So yeah, that's my pick for number 4.
Yes, Kenneth said that you like the director's cut more, or extended cut, or whatever.
The thing about the director's cut, though, is that there are some really shitty scenes where Rock just goes over. Stallone, you can tell he goes over the top talking about pancakes and stuff. That's really it's really shitty. I'm not lying.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Right.
the work is really good. I feel like it has more improvements that would have made the movie better, but yeah, there are a couple scenes where you're just like, wow, like I can't believe they even filmed that. But
It's kind of funny. Go ahead.
gave Rocky 5 a 0. I'm like, come on. I'm like, it has like the best Mickey scene in the whole series.
when it cut, see, that's the thing. Like, Sly himself puts the movie down, and it really, I just don't know what to think about that, because it's almost like we're watching 2 different films. It's like he's really not happy with it.
I think that's one of the reasons why he did Rocky Balboa, because I guess maybe he felt like he needed to apologize for Rocky 5 and just end it. Because Rocky 5, when you see Rocky 5, it looks like the final one. Like, they have the montage at the end with everything that happened in the series. So it's like,
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how you mentioned how
Yeah.
Stallone was going over the top about pancakes, like kind of like the kid in Cabin Fever.
God.
Oh God. Oh yeah.
The only thing that was missing was, hello? Anybody calling?
Ghostface? So we got okay. Oh, we got a call during our stream.
Kenny said, "Way to go, you phone! You hit me with the phone, Dick."
Yeah, told you it was Ghostface. All right, interesting. Rocky 5.
He can try to come over. He can try to come over and scare me. It ain't gonna work. That bitch.
All right. Thomas.
Are you still okay on the other end, Dan?
It's skipping a little, but I'm able to make it out better. So
Okay.
You should just come over here. I don't know. You should just come here.
Well, next time.
Well, I had no idea if it's weird. I mean, yeah, it's just on my phone. I thought it would work okay. It's not terrible right now. I can at least.
I mean, when we did a test streaming of this on my phone, because this is before I downloaded Google Chrome. What happened was my audio was really, really low because I had like headphones on. I was going through my phone and doing that, but doing it on a computer is much better.
Okay.
Did Dan hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it.
We just get
Okay. Because you were quiet, Dan. I was afraid you didn't hear that because I thought it was like skipping again.
Yeah, it's definitely better than it was.
Okay.
Well, as long as it's better, then that's good.
All right.
Number 4?
Yeah, number 4.
Okay.
Rocky 5 and Nick Thomas. What you got?
Got it right here. It's a horror movie.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say. But
Yeah.
that
Just say it already. Shit.
number 4. I've liked this film ever since I saw this back in the day. I liked this film in my teenage years. I saw this when I was first a teenager. I remember watching a whole marathon of these and getting to this one and having a blast. Jason X.
Motherfucker, that's my number 4.
Yeah. Nice.
That's what's going on.
There we go. That's your number 4, huh, Alex?
Yes, I've always enjoyed Jason X, man. I think
Yeah.
Yep, Jason X is number 4. I just think because of the reason why I enjoyed this, it's because it's like one of the one of the only few horror films that went into space that was actually decent and pretty good.
Right.
Other than Critters 4, which was in space, that was a good one too, and this is probably one of the only other good ones. I mean, I didn't care for Hellraiser in space. I thought that was all right. Leprechaun in space is cheesy. I mean, but I could be another guilty pleasure as well. But I still think this is probably one of the best ones dealing with a horror icon that went into space. I mean, I think it has solid direction by Jim Isaac, who sadly is no longer with us anymore. Jim Isaac, he passed away quite a while ago. But the last time we get to see Kane Hodder as Jason Voorhees, it was cool to see him one more time. Although I kind of wish he came back for Freddy vs. Jason, but that's just me though. But most
people agree with you on that one.
Mm-hmm. I think Ronnie Yu definitely should have gotten.
Fuck you, Ronnie Yu.
But I mean, has some really good deaths in here. I always thought one of the best death scenes in the entire movie is when Jason dunks the girl's face in the liquid nitrogen and smacks her face on the desk.
One of the best deaths in the series.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that too, like when I say this is cheesy, because it's got cheesy elements. I mean, of course, it's in outer space. And it's got some really dumb humor, but I just laughed my ass off at it. Like, there's literally a scene where one of the students is with the professor, and he's squeezing his nipples with pliers.
Yes.
And he says to her, "You passed."
Yeah.
You passed.
Exactly like that. Yeah.
And one of the other funny bits is when the guy's like, "It's okay, guys. He just wanted his machete back."
Yeah.
And there's another one where a guy gets stabbed through. He gets stabbed. I think he gets stabbed, and he says it's going to take more than that to take down this old dog. So Jason just stabs him again. He's like, "Yeah, that'll do it."
Yeah. Or one of the best ones when Jason kills that guy, he knocks him out, he knocks him over, and he lands on the kind of like a corkscrew, kind of like pail thing. He's like, what's the status? He's screwed. Very funny, but very funny.
What I always find funny in this is one of the kids in this is the boy with purple socks from Harry the Spy.
Yeah, the one that gets his arm cut off, and Jason,
yeah. The way he gets cut off that was so hilarious. Jason just falls on him when he's frozen.
Yeah.
I wanted that kid to die anyway. He was annoying.
Yeah, he was definitely the stoner kid.
He dies twice. In the video, in the game, and then in life.
I'll say one of the best aspects of the movie, one of the best parts of the movie is when they make that alternate reality of what Camp Crystal Lake is, and they put like an alternate universe where there's two female campers. Yeah. And Jason beats the shit out of them and they're sleeping.
They get topless.
Yeah, and he's banging the sleeping bag against the tree.
Yeah.
And I love the general character, the black guy.
Yeah.
I like how he's like riding Jason when he's in outer space. He's like riding on him like a surfboard.
You're riding on him.
But yeah, and I like Uber Jason. Granted, like the cover's a little misleading because they kind of make it look like it's like the whole movie, and it's really like the last
20.
maybe 15 minutes.
Right.
So I think that's probably why it was a little disappointing for fans, and it wasn't liked very much because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, oh, it's Uber Jason, and they advertise that a lot in the poster, the trailers, and it's not really until he's mainly like this on the left hand for like 80% of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I mean,
Storyline don't.
no, I mean,
Yeah.
when he's Uber Jason, it's cool.
I'm talking about as far as following the other movies. It's like kind of on its own.
Yeah,
It feels.
I think this was mainly made because they still couldn't get Freddy vs. Jason made until a year later. So they figured they needed to fill in a gap between 93 and 03 for 10 years, and so they made this. I don't know how much money it made when it came out. I know Sean S. Cunningham was actually an executive producer on this too.
It didn't. It flopped pretty much.
Yeah, didn't it cost like $20-some million or something like that?
I think the most expensive before Freddy vs. Jason, it was the most expensive one, and it made the least money. So yeah, it didn't do well.
It's still a really fun movie. I think it's pretty good. It's cheesy, but it's good cheese. It's the good kind of cheesy movie that I like. It's definitely one of the more forgotten about Jason films in the franchise, I would say, because no one ever mentions Part 10.
People do mention it, it always gets hate.
Yeah, but whenever people do bring it up, they hate it. But I like Jason X. That's why it's my number 4.
Yeah, and to just kind of add to that, I actually like the future space setting.
I do too.
As corny as it is, and it's like, you know what? It does at times. It does feel like direct to sci-fi. Out of all the Friday the 13th movies, like that's the only one that doesn't feel theatrical. And it kind of like it's weird. Like, wow, this movie was in theaters. It doesn't feel like it at all.
Nah, it feels like a direct-to-video
like,
movie.
Charm though, to it.
Yeah.
In my opinion. How like just like, even though it was more expensive than any of the other Friday the 13th movies before it, it feels cheap though. You know.
It was funny is the most expensive Friday the 13th before that was, I believe, Part 8.
Yes. But I like it more than Part 8, to be honest. I actually like Jason X. I know this is kind of like a controversial opinion, but I like it more than Freddy vs. Jason, to be honest. I enjoy it more than Freddy vs. Jason X, it like I do consider it a bad movie, but I always have fun watching it.
Oh yeah, it's a fun watch.
And you mentioned like it was Keenan Harder's last performance as Jason, if you don't include the video game. To me is one of his best performances as Jason. This one and Part 7, like those two were like he did the best.
I still think Part 7 is.
He's always good. He was always good, but like 7 and X are like the ones that, like I think he did the best. So
I can agree with that.
I think like for 7 because it was his first one, he wanted to keep doing it. But X because it was just a long. X was like almost 10 years after. What the hell?
Hands gone. Oh,
no, he's back.
Never mind.
He was gone for like a few seconds.
Okay.
You all right, Dan?
Yeah, everyone blurped out for a second there, but everyone's back.
That happened to me last week. But yeah.
Just to add a little trivia, MythBusters did a myth bust episode about if it was possible when that girl's face freezes and Jason smashes it. They did that as a myth, so the movie's popular enough for them to actually cover that. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
I think I heard about that. Yeah. About that.
We saw that in the theater, Rob and I.
Fucking
you got to see Jason X in theaters?
Yeah.
See, the thing that pisses me off that I wanted to see it in the theaters, but I didn't get to. My older brothers got to see it, and they're not even fans of the franchise. That's pissing me off this day. Shit.
Don't be jealous. Calm down.
But I am.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, though. When when Dan and I saw the movie in the theater, we actually didn't like it.
Yeah, it had been like 9 years after Jason Goes to Hell, and then he's in space all of a sudden. And yeah, that would piss me off too. You know, if I followed the franchise. Before.
Rob, was that the movie where it ended? That guy stood up in the front row and made the fart noise.
No, well, he made the fart noise as soon as Jason was out the window, and the guy tackles him, takes him onto the earth. The guy's like, he just made a fart noise.
Are you sure that wasn't Thomas?
Yeah.
But like one last thing, like I think the fight between Jason and the robot girl is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the best parts. Like she keeps shooting his arm and his leg, but he keeps coming back. She shoots him in the chest. He keeps coming back. I like that. Yeah. Uh-huh. And it was also Harry Manfredini's last time scoring.
Yep.
Friday
The last yep.
Which sucks, man. I wish we bring it back. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, Jason X is my number 4 and Thomas is number 4.
Yep.
All right. Dan, what's your number
Dan?
4?
Well, yeah, I can tell you my number 4 is not Jason X. So this is another film that's actually kind of like my number 5 in that I like the martial arts in the film, but really that's all it's got going for it. This is a sequel film to another martial arts movie that was good. And yeah, pretty much everyone says that this movie is garbage, and it is garbage. It has a 3.7 on IMDb.
Ooh.
Any guesses on this one?
And you said it's a sequel?
It's a sequel, and it's a martial arts movie.
Best of the best too?
Nope.
Okay. No.
That was actually my guess too.
Is it one of the Karate Kid sequels? Like 3?
Oh no.
No, okay.
Nope.
Yeah,
I'll just
Is
tell you
it?
it's
Wait. Let me ask one more question. Does it star an action star, like a popular action star?
somewhat. I would not like Van Damme status, but
okay. Well, I don't know what it is then.
It's Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh shit! How come we didn't guess that? Yeah.
Rob, you have to listen.
I was wondering if someone was ever going to mention that.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean this movie, you could just tell, like, I don't know what happened in the production. They were just like, yeah, we want to do this stuff, but our budget's so low that we're just gonna throw all this stuff together because the CGI is shit, and they bring in so many characters, and they just kill off some of the characters like immediately. Like, oh, okay, here's Rain. Oh, he's a cool character. Nope, you're gone, dead. Like, immediately. Oh, Shiva, the four-armed girl. You know, like, oh, there's going to be a cool fight with her. Oh, no, a chandelier is going to fall on her and kill her. I mean, the acting and the dialogue are just terrible. And unlike the first movie is an entertaining action movie, I think. And it's a fun movie. This one, it's laughable. You almost watch it because of the bad dialogue. But it does have good martial arts in it, and that is why it's on my list. The CGI is so bad. They do like the animality at the end where like the two CGI dragons fight. It looks terrible. They take characters that like are important characters in the game, and like they're just like barely in the film, or they don't know what to do with them. Brian Thompson, I believe that's who played Shao Kahn. You know, he just hands up. Robin Shou tries the best he can. But yeah, you got Raiden who gets replaced by James Remar. Sonya's replaced.
James Remar.
Yeah. What? He gets a haircut in the movie, like, oh, a new style.
New
like,
look.
You like new look.
So I mean, I'm assuming everyone's seen this film,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay. But again,
lot
it's
of
movie
time.
that'll- What's that?
I've seen it a lot.
But yeah, I'd still say it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I could still pop it in just to make fun of it, and that's my number 4.
All right.
Mortal
So
Kombat.
we had for Jason X. For me and Alex, we had Mortal Kombat 9 for Dan, and we had for Rob was Rocky 5.
Yeah.
This is really getting now.
It was all number 4s were sequels.
Oh yeah.
All 4, yeah, all of them were sequels. Yeah.
No.
All right, so let's start. This is getting interesting. I'm really curious what number 3 is now.
Number 3. Rob.
Okay. All right. My number 3, Dan and I also saw this in the movie theater, and we sat next to some handicapped people. Because there were no seats left, so we had to sit in this handicap spot because it was packed.
Yeah.
And this movie's really bad, but I can watch this and just kind of laugh at some of the things going on. And I do think it has an amazing soundtrack, and I do like the main character, Deep Blue Sea.
I thought I knew that's what it was.
Yeah, Thomas Jane, I love the guy. I think he's awesome. Samuel Jackson, he doesn't last too long, but he's whatever. And I do like LL Cool J. I think LL Cool J he's actually underrated, I feel, as an actor. I thought he should do more movies. But the thing is that what's really stupid about this movie, I think, mostly is shark encounters. I think that's the stupidest thing in this movie. I mean, not only do they look really bad when they're swimming in the water, but that stupid her right there.
Right.
I mean, she cuts her hand and jumps in the water like a retard. That's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. But you know what? Thomas Jane, like I'll watch anything with him. Like I just think he's great.
Underrated as well. Yeah.
Underrated actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
And
Remember
Kenny,
the new Predator movie.
Well,
You know what?
movie.
I honestly I feel bad for him from that new Predator movie because what a waste. Like what a waste of talent.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Kenny mentioned Deep Blue Sea a few minutes ago.
Yeah, he said it's very underrated.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
He mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Thomas Jane, I mean, Thomas Jane is fantastic. Of course, he's the freaking Punisher, of course.
I like Deep Blue Sea, but I don't like it as a guilty pleasure. I think it's actually a good movie.
Well, I look at it like this. Like when Dan and I when we saw it, like we had kind of different feelings on it, but then it got really bad reviews. Like it got kind of tanked, And so I just kind of feel like it's one of those movies that people feel like they're guilty. It's like a guilty pleasure. So yeah, it's definitely a guilty pleasure for me.
I used to really like that movie when it first came out and everything. Now, yeah, like it's definitely like there's definitely some shitty parts in that movie, but there's some good parts too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
The thing that's shitty about it is like the CGI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
the CGI is bad.
I mean,
You know, the few times in that movie where they use practical shark effects, the shark looks great.
yeah.
Yeah.
With the effects.
I think the big shark.
Who directed Rennie Harlan? Directed.
Yes, Rennie
Harlan, yep. I mentioned
Yeah.
we mentioned him on the Ford Fairlane.
Yeah, he was. I think you just want to make it more faster paced Jaws kind of movie. So like, you want shots where like the shark comes in fast and bites the person, so like he had to use CGI in that, and tiny CGI doesn't hold up the best.
No, it doesn't.
Well, when it comes, you can also list it like this. When it comes to shark movies, this is actually listed at the bottom of a lot of people's lists as far as like being bad, like being so bad they're good, or being just bad in general. You'll be surprised.
It's one of my personal favorite shark movies.
For me, it's in my opinion, it's the second best shark movie ever made, behind Jaws, because most shark movies are shit.
Oh my god!
I probably say that's my second favorite too.
I know a lot of people like The Meg. I was not a fan of that.
I like The Meg.
I didn't like it.
The Shallows is
Shallow?
good.
I like The Shallows, but I prefer Deep Blue Sea.
I love The Reef.
Yeah, The Reef.
The Reef is good.
But-
Open Water is really
Yeah.
good too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd say Deep Blue Sea sits kind of in the middle bottom.
I guess I'm a fan of it.
You're forgetting
Like
Jaws 2.
Water.
You're forgetting Jaws 2.
It's been so long since he's Jaws too. Though.
Oh, I love Jaws too.
I don't remember very clearly.
I also really like a one called Red Water.
Is that the one with the Julio in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips and Chrissy Swanson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Coolio. Yeah. Made for cable, made for I think TBS.
Yeah, I remember the promos.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Kenny mentioned that Face Off was also Thomas Jane. Yeah, Thomas Jane does have a small role in Face Off.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He does.
He was in the prison. He's
Oh,
in the prison.
Yeah. Oh,
better-
that's right. He was in Buffy the
that's
Vampire Slayer.
still a better role than that he had in The Predator.
And I forgot he was in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie.
Yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, cool. People see number
Let's see.
three.
Great choice.
Thomas, what's your number 3?
Okay. I got it right here. Give me 1 second. Here it is. You talk about one. This is another horror movie. That's one of the best comedies like ever made.
I know what it is. Oh, never mind.
What did you think?
I thought you were gonna say it's The Happening.
I could have put that too, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Oh boy, another horror sequel.
I've only seen it once, and I don't remember anything about it except that Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger in it.
Yeah, most people see that. Yeah, they only
And
remember
what's
that.
funny is when this is the Scream Factory Blu-ray, I can't believe this actually got a Scream Factory Collector's Edition.
Oh boy.
I'm shocked. But I remember when they were first releasing this, like this cover had McConaughey and Renee Zellweger's faces on it,
Mhm.
like on the sides.
Right.
And then they had to change that to this.
Yeah.
Because I guess McConaughey and Renee Zellweger want nothing to do with this movie.
Even though they both talked about it, they both kind of like said it was a good experience for them. Like,
Oh yeah, I know McConaughey mentioned that in an interview recently.
yeah. I think it's just their
Mhm.
agents or their people or whatever don't want their name.
Yeah, it's probably their agents. Probably they say like, no, you ain't putting their names on this thing. Fuck it.
Don't blame them.
But when you really think about it, though, this movie, in a way, it's almost like a semi remake of the original,
Yes.
kind of, because they have similar scenes to the original. When Renee Zellweger's running up the stairs, he's running the same. Oh my god, them dogs are fucking barking.
They must really hate the movie.
But the scene where Renee Zellweger runs up the stairs, she runs the same way that Marilyn Burns did in the original. Hops out the window and falls to the ground, and the scene where Sally's being chased with the chainsaw in the original, like kind of very similar to how Renee Zellweger is being chased by Leatherface. I'll tell you what, Leatherface in this is a pussy.
Right.
He's a pussy in this.
Probably like the worst Leatherface in the whole series.
Yeah. And no disrespect to Robert Jacks. So, he passed away
Mhm.
shortly after the movie was made, a few years later. But yeah, you talk about like one of those kind of like movies where it's like so bad it's good. This is like one of those ones I always think of the most. This is easily like I find this movie funny than most comedies today, and it's not meant to be a comedy.
Yeah.
I know Kim Henkel directed this. Kim Henkel,
Yeah, he
who was involved in the original. Yeah, I think he write? He wrote the original, right?
he co-wrote it with Toby.
Yeah, he wrote the original. And dogs are barking. Hey!
Okay.
Oh my god. But yeah, you talk about and like the acting in this is fucking bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The acting in this is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I mean, you have the character of what was it, Barry and Heather, and they remember when they crashed the car and the guy's like, "I'm not hurt, hurt," and he just flew backwards. And Heather's reaction, she's like, "Is he dead? Is he dead?
Did he die?
Did he die?" and even the part when, for some reason, this scene always made no sense to me. Remember when Heather gets put on the meat hook?
Yeah.
And then it's after Leatherface slams Barry in the head with the sledgehammer, kind of like another scene similar to the original.
Yeah.
For some reason, when Darla's driving back to the house with Renee Zellweger in the trunk, Heather must have gotten off the meat hook and crawled into the middle of the road where Darla finds her, and she taps her. He's going to beat her with a stick, and she just taps her with the stick.
Yeah. No. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. No.
And you know, this is Leatherface the whole movie. Screaming like, and there's even a point in the movie where it's like I'm laughing my ass off, and this made me laugh my ass off even more when they're at the dinner table. Renee Zellweger says, "I'm leaving," and the Leatherface gets up. You sit the fuck down. Shut up, and he does it.
Yeah.
Telling Leatherface to sit his ass down, and he does it. And on top of that too, you have and the one thing that's really cool about the movie is at the end where they got some people from the original and cameos, like the guy that's talking to Renee Zellweger at the hospital is Grandpa from the original. The girl on the gurney is Marilyn Burns, and the guy pushing her is Franklin. You don't see his face, which is sad. But
wow, Franklin, the worst fucking character ever.
You don't see his face, which is a shame. But he is. But and the whole ending is so friggin' weird. It's like when Renee Zellweger gets into the RV and there's a crop duster plane and it kills Matthew McConaughey, and Leatherface starts to cry and swing the chainsaw around. And yeah, you talk about just one of those. I'll say, like, I will admit though, one of the characters I really liked in this movie was W.E. Sawyer. Remember the guy that's like he's holding the gun to Barry?
Yeah, he's
like, well, it's like, yeah, I think he's one of the funnier. I remember like one of the lines he says, like, "What does this look like to you? Green eggs?"
Uh-huh.
I
remember they did the door bit, like, "Look what your brother did to the door." That no one cares about that damn door or whatever.
Yeah. But Matthew McConaughey is the highlight of the movie. He really is the highlight. Because, you know, it's Matthew McConaughey playing a crazy redneck, and he's from Texas, so it makes a lot of sense. He's easily the best thing in the movie, like the best actor, like the best everything in the entire movie, because everything else around him is just so cheesy and so bad, but it's so bad it's fun to watch. So that's why I had to put this as my number 3, just because of how insane it is.
All right. I had a feeling you were going to mention that.
I had to.
Uh-huh. All right. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 4. It's your number 3. All right. Dan, what's your number 3?
Okay, so this is another sequel in series. It's not the second movie, but it is a sequel. It is a superhero film, and it is a movie that Rob and I actually reviewed at one time way back when. And it currently holds It holds a 3.7 on IMDb. Any guesses?
I think Superman.
Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
what can
my
we
God.
say about this movie besides the fact that Christopher Reeves does a great job as Superman? What a shit show, okay? This movie. Gene Hackman wouldn't even wear a Lex Luthor wig for this movie. He has his real hair. And all, it's just like he didn't even want to try.
Right.
And it just like Mortal Kombat Annihilation, it suffered from production. Like they didn't have enough money, and so they were reusing footage. They gave Superman powers that he shouldn't have, and people are breathing in space for crying out loud.
I always remember in the
But
old review you guys did about how like there's a lot of air in that space, and he's like, unless Superman let out a big fat fart, and that would not have happened.
That was one of the
From Rob's old channel back in the day.
that was one of the titles you guys put at the end. Like we should have been called Superman 4 breathing in space.
we had the VHS tape flying around. I remember that. I definitely remember. There's so many scenes that I could just made no sense.
That was one of the longest reviews we ever did.
But it's still, as a kid, I watched this movie a lot. I thought, oh yeah, it's just as good as the other movies. I mean, but it's garbage, but it's still endearing to me, and it's a guilty pleasure just because it's fun to make fun of, and Christopher Reeves. I mean, you got to give it to him. He did a great job as Superman. So
He wrote the
that's
movie,
my.
right?
What's that?
He wrote the movie.
I think he did have a hand in it. Yeah.
And who directed the movie?
I can't remember.
Oh, it was Sidney J. Fury.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
It was a Canon film, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Canon Films. Yep.
But then, Superman Returns came out, and Superman
Just like
Superman 4 was no longer in
that.
canon. Yeah. That's
this was
also-
canon too.
Yeah.
I gotta. Why does that name sound familiar?
Probably did other stuff that was better. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. The part that makes me laugh the most is the whole Superman what was it, Nuclear Man fight, because it's really, really so stupid. Yeah,
There's so many.
I know. But like when he's destroying the cars in the city, like Superman's just standing there and like, the people, no, stop, the people, stop. It's so bad.
Rebuilding the Great Wall of China with his eyes, like Legos.
Oh my
And
god.
fucking Nuclear Man.
It's just like long.
And then he brings that guy, person down by going like this and looking at him like,
I'm looking up the director of Sidney J. Fury, who did Superman 4. And surprisingly, this guy is going on to do a lot of stuff after Superman 4. The Taking of Beverly Hills, he was in He Did Ladybugs with Rodney Dangerfield.
Christopher Reeves, I mean, I know he was a great Superman, but like, if he wrote the fourth movie, then like, why was he like, oh yeah, Superman has these powers? Like, what?
Yeah, that's a funny one. I definitely remember that video.
And Sidney J. Fury went on to direct a Dolph Lundgren movie called The Tension.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, he did Ladybugs with Rodney Dangerfield. He did Top of the World with Peter Weller. He did Iron Eagle. The Taking of Beverly Hills. And I think before he did Superman 4, he did The Entity.
I guess Superman 4 is the one that's known the most.
Probably, yeah.
That's interesting pick. Superman 4.
Yeah. So he had, wow. I mean, These are some really good choices, I tell you.
Okay, I guess I'm next, right? My number 3 is a movie that we've mentioned a few times in the last few streams we've done,
Uh
and that is Showgirls.
huh.
What?
Yes.
You actually like that movie?
Dude, it is
I didn't.
fucking hilarious. It is so goddamn funny, man. Like, how can you not laugh? That fucking
I don't laugh. I just.
like look at what Thomas is doing, yeah. The infamous pool sex scene, you know.
Having sex in the pool, and she's like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What are you gonna be? I'm gonna be a dancer. I'm so excited.
Because her acting is so bad, but it's so funny, man. Because like, yeah.
what Rob's doing?
Yeah, he's having a seizure. But like, if you guys know, like they're trying to do a satire on Las Vegas. All that you can kind of see in the movie, but it's done in such an over-the-top way that just comes off bad, but still funny. And Berkeley's performance is so. She takes it way too seriously. She's acting like she's in a serious movie, and it's not. And it's funny. Like she gets mad so easily in the movie. As what we call it, she gets triggered so easily in the movie. If someone says something bad, you don't know shit. Something like that. And come on, man, how can you not laugh at the part where they're talking about eating dog food? That's too funny.
Doggy chow. I used to love doggy chow.
And you know the funniest part that like people forget is that scene where like those two other girls are fighting with each other, and then like they get on stage and they're dancing, and then she throws the diamonds or jewels or whatever in the stage so she can trip. She falls on her ass, but somehow she hurts her knee. Oh God! Yeah. Why? Man. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a huge Paul Verhoeven fan. I like anything he does, but even Showgirls, as bad as it is, I still fucking find it entertaining.
As far as
she's always eating burgers and fries like a fat ass, so it's funny.
Oh, gee, thanks.
They're like, what do you want? Burgers, fries, and soda.
I just had a burger for fries.
And they always mention brown rice and vegetables. I've never had it, but it sounds kind of gross. And I like it.
Yeah, Kenny, I'm surprised you remember that. The old videos of my intro. I wish I could remember it as clear.
I think I remember that one. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that's my number 3 pick, Showgirls.
All right. So we got Showgirls, Superman 4, Deep Blue Sea, and Texas Chainsaw Next Generation. It's going to get interesting now. Number 2.
Rob, go ahead. What's your number 2?
Okay, now I grew up with this film. The acting in this movie is very, very bad, but the actual fighting in this movie is pretty well done. It's a cross between Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Home Alone.
Oh, I know.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fucking 3 ninjas, right?
3 ninjas. Yep.
Yeah. 3 ninjas.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
I never got into the series, so you're
This is the best one out of the series, but that's not saying much. It's very, very cheesy. It's very stupid in ways, but I do like the fighting in it. And
I'll be right back.
it is kind of like it. Okay, it is kind of like Home Alone, but you got these. I think the teacher, the old man in this is from Tremors. He played the shopkeeper in Tremors. But yeah, these the kids get trained to be ninjas, and then they have to defend their house from these thugs they basically remind me of Wayne Garth from Wayne's World.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. I like the fighting. I think that's really good. But it's just like the scene where they're playing basketball, and they're playing basketball against these. And they're like, huh?
Against the bullies, right?
Yeah, they're playing against the bullies, and they're like, okay, we'll give you a 9-point lead. Okay, they played a 10. We'll give you a 9-point lead. So through the whole basketball game, they catch up, and the main kid dunks the ball. He jumps up and he dunks the basketball. I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, you're in fucking grade school. How the hell can you jump that high to dunk a basketball? I can't even do that, and I'm 6'6". Like what? Just because I know. Just because he's a ninja. That's why. That's why. That's how he can.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, it's very stupid, a lot of cheesy stuff, but I don't know. I consider it a guilty pleasure, I guess. So.
See, I never got into those movies, man. Even as a kid, I seen that one, and I seen the one with Hulk Hogan. I remember that one.
I seen the second one. I've never seen the other ones. I seen the second one, but I didn't really care for those.
Yeah,
so.
there was one with Hulk Hogan in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's. Boy.
Yeah, there was two more. Two more three ninjas.
Yeah, and then it got 3 sequels, man. How the fuck does
There's 3 ninjas kickback. There's 3 ninja up, and then there's high mountain or something, high noon something.
Yeah, that one. I think that's the one with Hulk Hogan. I think that's the one with Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I don't have anything positive to say about that. I never got into the series.
Pretty bad movies, I just say.
All right. Well, yeah. Interesting. Thomas, you're number 3?
You mean number 2?
Oh, sorry, probably. Number 2.
Number 2, right? I got it right here. I watched this film actually the day before we did this stream. It's another video game adaptation movie.
No shit.
Can you take any guess of what it is?
Street Fighter. Yeah.
Double Dragon. Okay.
Street Fighter.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. That's the only thing I fucking know about that movie.
Yeah, I rewatched the film. I rewatched this film again before we did the stream yesterday, and probably one of the most. I mean, I in all honesty, I got to say this. I think this is better than Max Payne. for like video game adaptation movies, I think this is way better than Max Payne. I think it's way better than Far Cry. I mean, it's way better than House of the Dead by Uwe Boll. But it's still like it has nothing to do with Street Fighter, and that's one of the biggest problems. But still, to me though, I find this film highly entertaining just because of how ridiculous it is. Just because, in a way, the plot is kind of like a ripoff of G.I. Joe in a sense, if you think about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you have Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile. You have, of course, Raul Julia as Bison. You also have Wes Studi, Damien Chapa, Ming-Na Wen as Chun-Li. You have other people in here, too, who have small appearances in the film. But and then there's Raul Julia as Bison. Right there.
Yeah. Rest in peace, bro.
Rest in peace, Raul Julia. The last film he did before he passed away. A really sweet story about Street Fighter. I don't know if you know about this, about Raul Julia, about why he did this.
For his kids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, because and there's a making of featurette from back in the day where they interview like Van Damme and Raul Julia. Raul Julia mentioned about this is a few months before he passed away, but he mentioned that his kids were big fans of the video game Street Fighter, and when he told them what the movie was that he was working on, like he said, their faces like lit up like it was like the greatest thing ever. And so it was like an obligation to his kids because he knew he didn't have much time left because he was suffering. I think around this time he just got treated for stomach cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And like you can tell by the way he looks really pale and really weak looking. And I think a few months after this, he ended up having a stroke and ended up passing away from a stroke, which is sad. So this is like his last thing to do, and it was a favor to his children, which I thought was a sweet gesture. Raul Julia seemed like a stand-up guy, really great, solid character actor. Raul Julia, love him as Gomez in the Addams Family movies.
Yeah.
I love him as he was great as the bad guy in The Rookie with Clint Eastwood. Underrated movie right there. And Raul Julia is without a doubt the best part of this movie. He's really good as Bison. He is a really good Bison. Even though he was sick during the making of this movie, he had energy. He gave it his best, and he brought his A game. I mean, he was really good as M. Bison. And whenever people mention this movie Street Fighter, they always think of Raul Julia as Bison because he is the standout. He really is the best thing in the movie. Van Damme once in a while, gets a chuckle here and there. You do think you can fight with me? Like the way he says that just come across like unintentionally hilarious. And on top of that too, the soundtrack is really odd. You have like MC Hammer and Ice Cube, and ironically enough, you know who directed this movie?
I don't remember.
Steven D'Souza.
What else?
Same guy that wrote 48 Hours, Die Hard, Commando.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah, Kenny was mentioning Raul Julia passed away at age 54. Yes, he did pass away at 54 years old. To be honest, Kenny was mentioning Raul Julia was also really good in Tequila Sunrise. I haven't seen Tequila Sunrise in forever. It's one of the Kurt Russell films I haven't seen in forever either. Kenny also mentioned about Street Fighter. It would have been funny if Jason Scott Lee was in there, which would have been kind of cool, actually, if Jason Scott Lee was in there. I mean, like the Rilo and Ken, I mean, their characters. If you really think about it, the title Street Fighter is no fighting in the streets. There's no fighting in the streets. That's why I think it's kind of funny. Like the other Van Damme films that he did, where like Lionheart and things like that, and Bloodsport, those are more Street Fighter than this. Mm-hmm. But still, at the same time,
they do. Just interrupt you really quick. They really do copy off the game, but the only thing is that I think they do it a little too much in the movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, they do the poses. They do the poses. They do like the special moves and kind of stuff like that. I think it was just a little. Yeah.
But it's kind of funny how you mentioned they were doing the special moves because today, before we did the stream, I was actually watching the review for this for Good Bad Flicks.
Oh yeah.
And they mentioned how at the end of the review, they mentioned how they had a lot of the special moves from the game in there. So, I mean, there's a lot of aspects in the game, like, Guile and Bison, like the characters are in there, but it's not really like a street fighting movie. It's more like about world domination, like it's kind of like G.I. Joe in a way, like taking over the world domination. And on top of that too, I'll tell you what, the one thing in this movie that doesn't make a lot of sense is after the end credits, because I don't know if you remember what happens at the end of the credits. There's a post-credit scene when Bison's hand pops out and he's gonna like push the replay button for world domination, which is of course setting up a sequel, and of course that never happened. And it's like, why would you want to make a sequel if Raul Julia has passed away? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
In case it was a big hit, and
well, I mean, in it cost 35 million and it made 99 million bucks, which I guess is a nice chunk of change. I mean, I'm getting that's a decent amount of change.
Yeah, maybe like the reviews are so bad that they thought like no.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time though, I mean, Transformers and all that stuff get shitty reviews, but they look at box office.
Yeah, but those movies make billions though.
Like they don't care about critics reviewing it; they care more about the box office.
Yeah.
So like in a way, I can see they could have made a sequel to this because it made I guess a nice decent amount of change, but Raul Julia by that point passed away, and on top of that too, like I don't know what else you would get for Bison because I think Raul Julia played a perfect Bison, but like I said, cheesy soundtrack and cheesy acting. Raul Julia is the best part. Van Damme has some fun moments, but all the other actors are pretty cheesy in their acting. Really cheesy, over the top action, the cheesy plot, but I still found enjoyment out of this movie, even though it doesn't really deal with like fighting in the streets like the game, but there's characters from the game in here. But still, at the same time, it's a ridiculous, cheesy movie, and I still have a fun time with the movie. So easily, Street Fighter is my number 2. I'd probably still say Mortal Kombat's the best video game adaptation movie, but to be honest, there's not really many good ones out there. So I kind of put that one in the guilty pleasure pile for video game adaptations.
All right, Street Fighter. Yeah. What's number 2?
All right. So my number 2 is another sequel film, not the second one, but it's in the sequel. It currently holds a 3 on IMDb. That's my lowest IMDb score on mine. This was a movie when I saw when I was a kid. The first scene of the movie, it was gruesome, and I was shocked, and it really stuck out to me. And this movie, when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, this is the best one in the whole series, like by far." Now, as an adult, I'm like, "This is the shittiest movie ever." It is Jaws: The Revenge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is the worst Jaws film. I mean, a shark getting revenge. Who came up with this idea? You have
apparently Joseph Sargent did
in this movie, who he already said he did it for the paycheck. There's so many boring scenes in this movie as well, like with Brody's wife. It's just like, what? Why is this in here? Who cares about her relationship? Like, oh, she's meeting another guy. It's like, this is a shark movie, for crying out loud. And then the shark can growl. I mean, what the hell? I just can't believe that they made this movie as it is. But with all of that said, it's still a guilty pleasure. That the opening scene, even now, like, it's gruesome when his arm g's ripped off and he's bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, shock as a kid. And the banana boat scene, and the scene where Michael Brody's swimming through the underwater sunken ship and the shark is swimming through there. Like, I still think these are cool scenes, but that's all it's got going for it. I mean, the shark is way too big, and they had a second ending, for crying out loud. They didn't know which ending to go to, and the reshoot looks so fake. You can tell they filmed it in like a pool, like the background's fake. I don't know, but still, like, I can still put this movie in and enjoy some aspects of it, even though it's so terrible. So that's my number 2.
I think I saw Jaws 4 before I saw the original Jaws. I think. And it's funny because like the Jaws 4 ends with flashbacks to the first one, of the ending of that one. Like, that makes no sense.
Right. Yeah, like, she wasn't there.
Yeah, I know.
How would she remember that?
Yeah. Is the shark remembering it? Fuck.
It's not even the same shark. Like, why is it getting revenge?
Is it
what?
The brother? The father? The mother?
The brother.
The twin brother?
I don't care for John.
Is it a clone?
Either, but this one's garbage.
Is it a clone? You know, it's funny because like that shark that kills the son in the beginning of the movie, it goes all the way to the Bahamas to look for them. Like,
Right.
what the fuck?
Yeah. How would it even know? Let's just say sharks can. Let's say sharks can have feelings and want revenge. Like, how would it know that that's where they went?
Yeah, it must have like.
But why would the shark even be mad in the first place? I mean, what the hell? It's not a relative.
What's up with that too?
It's the daddy shark. The
Yeah,
daddy.
yeah,
No, the daddy shark
Yeah.
was the first movie.
yes.
there
Yeah, well, this shark.
were some scenes. There's one scene there that doesn't make any sense when they're going after the shark, and for some reason Lorraine Gary's having flashbacks to when her husband shot the
Yeah,
shark.
yeah, we mentioned that. Yeah,
Like, how the
Yeah,
fuck
we
did she
talked-
know that?
yeah. It's so bad, yeah. But I can see why you picked it though.
I mean, it's not a guilty
I always
pleasure for me.
I always find it funny when Lorraine Gary's out. She's like out in the ocean and she's just looking like, oh my, like I think he's out there. Like the shark's out. It's like the shark's personally. Like
60% of the movie. She does that. Like 70% of the movie.
Yeah, like does she
They
think,
have a psychic connection.
does she think he's gonna like literally come out of the water and go like, "I'll get you next time, Mrs. Brody"?
Yeah, Mario.
look at
Van
the cover of the movie. The cover of the movie shows her on the boat with a spear, like ah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why there was never a
Yeah,
Jaws
that's-
5.
Oh my god.
Would you? Here's a question: if they were to make a Jaws 5, like let's say it'll probably be like a direct sequel to the first one. I mean, more sequels, but like, would you want to watch? Would you want to watch it?
If Michael Caine's in it.
If they made a sequel, I would see it. No matter what.
It would probably be
First-
about
If it's a connection to the first movie, then yeah.
probably by Mike Brody, right? Probably by
Mike Brody.
Yeah.
Definitely. And maybe like it'll be Cooper's.
Jaws: The Shark Awakens. That's what we call it. The Shark Awakens. Like Mike Brody. Mike Brody would be the sheriff of the town.
Mhm.
Town, yeah. And it was very
Yep.
Bosoms me.
yeah.
Maybe you can get Richard Dreyfuss back as Hooper.
Yeah, because he didn't die. Yeah, he just left.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, Robert Shaw and Roy Scheider are both dead.
Yeah. And those characters are dead too. So I was like, yeah, bring back
Mhm.
Dreyfuss, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you can bring
He'll be
back
the Han
Hooper.
Solo- He'll be the Han Solo of the movie. He'll die at the shark will kill him.
It follows.
Roy Scheider was in the part.
Yeah, he was. He was the dad of Frank Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's one of the last movies, wasn't it?
I believe that was one of his last roles.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah, I
passed
think
away.
it was.
Yeah.
Passed away a few years later. Yep.
So yeah, Jaws 4. Interesting.
I don't consider that a guilty pleasure. I can see why people would, but I think it's a straight up piece of shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
darn.
Yeah, Richard Dreyfuss was in the beginning of Piranha 3D.
Yeah, he was in the beginning of Piranha.
He was drinking the same beer as the with Hannah Jaws. He was wearing the same kind of clothes and shit like that. So, okay, cool. little
Yeah.
drag there. All right, cool.
Mhm.
Right, not my number 2 is a movie that's been mentioned already, but it wasn't picked as an actual pick. It's Batman.
Oh.
Robin. Batman Robin.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Yes. Come on, dude. Yeah.
Wait, we're forgetting something. So when we list these, so you actually like Batman and Robin?
Yes, it's a good comedy. Yes.
No.
How do you not find it funny? How do you not find it funny? Come on, man. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze is, yeah, he's bad.
I mean, no, it's funny, but I don't like it. I mean, it's
But you get
I
some.
like
I've always thought, as a kid, because you don't know better, you actually think it's a good movie. But like growing up, when you found out, like, oh, it did a terrible job, but it still has that charm to it because it's so campy, it's so over the top, and it's so dumb. But it's funny though.
It is dumb.
Alex, wait, let me just stop you for a second. I remember when I saw Batman and Robin, it was with my parents and my sister. I don't know why we, as a family, we went and saw the movie because that's just a weird thing to happen. But I remember leaving the theater and being mad and being like, "What?" And like complaining about it. And my sister and parents were like, "Oh no, it was good." And I was like, "Wait, this don't make sense, and this is stupid." I'm like, "This," and they're like, well, just they wouldn't have a rebuttal. They're just like, "Oh no."
It's fun,
like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know what you guys to this day like. Come on. First of all, Joel Schumacher fucking apologized for crying out loud. Like, come on, man. Like you really gonna hate on the movie still to this day? Yes, Rob looks mad right now. Kenny. I get it. I mean, it's a sequel to the franchise. It's
Sorry, whenever I see George Clooney open his mouth as Batman, I want to fucking puke. Like honestly,
High freeze.
I don't.
one of the funniest parts, and this is supposed to be like one of the most dramatic scenes when they tell Chris Robin that Alfred is dying, and he's telling him that how come he didn't tell us? Like, Alfred, he wouldn't say anything, but I could tell. And then he has this. This is like throughout the whole movie. George Clooney has a smirk on his face. He's like doing that a lot. I'm like, you're talking about your father. You pretty much like the guy who raised you is dying, and you're smirking about it while you're telling your friend. And
I'm sorry. Okay,
come on, man.
That
Funny.
girl. Okay, listen.
Exactly.
Batgirl pretty much made Batman out to be a stupid ass because she was the only one who could figure out like the technology. Batman didn't even know about the technology. What a slut. Come on.
It's
Like, how did they get ice skates?
That's fucking hilarious, man. They tap their feet like the Wizard of Oz, boom, and all of a sudden ice skates come out.
What, so you're telling me they prepared? So you're telling me before they went to fight Freeze, you're telling me they put ice skates in their boots just as a preparedness?
Yeah. We also had like heat lasers to unfreeze the fucking ice too. And this is a new villain in Gotham. They say like Commissioner Gordon tells me, yeah, we have a new villain in Gotham. His name is Mr. Freeze. So it's like Mr. Freeze out there.
We have a villain in Gotham City. He's calling himself Mr. Freeze. He's throwing the guards in the blocks of ice.
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Pull back. I can make it.
The only good thing about the only good thing about the movie is Poison Ivy. I thought she was hot. She could wrap her vines around me any day.
Oh yeah. Well, Thurman.
It's remember
Yeah.
when Robin screams, he's like I can make it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be my partner. Okay, it's Batman and Robin, not Robin and Batman. I'm sick of it.
I remember as a kid when I would see it, and then the way it ended, like I always thought years would pass by. Like, how come there's no part 5? Like I would think that because it's called Batman and Robin, I would think, oh, part 5 is gonna be called Batman, Robin, and Batgirl. Where's the sequel to that? And I found out why there was a sequel. It's a killer.
Supposed to be.
I know there's supposed to be, with Scarecrow.
Batman Triumphant, I think.
Yeah.
And it was going to have Scarecrow.
That movie made me want to have McGregor syndrome.
It's I mean, come on. I mean, I know it's a bad movie, but dude, it's just like you don't have fun watching it. I can pop it up right now and just have fun watching it. Come on. Uh-huh.
Arnold Schwarzenegger with all those.
I have fun watching Batman Forever. I have fun watching Batman Forever, honestly.
I did too.
No.
So with this one. And I don't know if you say this or not because it's gonna piss you guys off. But I should just say, I did no.
What's that?
That I read. It's just me. It's just fucking me. I'd rather be watching this 100 times over than fucking Batman vs Superman. Okay.
What the
You're
hell?
muted. You're muted.
I
Here.
knew you guys could get mad at me.
Yeah, but Kenny mentioned Batman Triumphant. I'm glad that didn't happen. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
for
true.
sure.
We will never get Batman Begins.
I mean, I remember it was going to be all three coming back from Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
How dare you say that about Batman? Man.
Hey, Freeze! I'm Batman.
No, it's more like this. Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman. And Arnold Schwarzenegger with all those shitty ass ice puns.
And of course, we can't forget Bane in the movie. He was
Bomb.
a retard, yeah. Bomb.
Yeah.
Exit.
Oh.
I used to cringe the part where he grabs Batman and you can see all his fucking veins in his hand.
Mhm.
Touching like, oh,
Yeah.
God. Oh, that's so funny, man. Yeah, but that's
Look at 84. You're deleted off my social media.
yeah.
So John Travolta with the fanatic.
You're deleted.
You're mean.
You're deleted off my social media.
You get out of here.
Oh yeah, before I cannot forget the greatest scene in cinematic history: the bad credit card. Never leave
Never
the
leave
key
the
about
key.
it. Fucking great, it's fucking comedy gold. Oh man, but yeah, that's my number 2 pick, Batman and Robin.
Wow.
Yeah. Stay cool, bud boy.
Can you be called Batman?
Mhm.
You have the thought of the bird. I'll kill you next time. And just like the nostalgia critic said, why not kill him now?
I always hate when people talk during the movie.
I hate when people talk during the
Yeah.
mercy. I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
Freezing hell, Batman.
Freezing hell, Batman. Cool party.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah.
You
All right.
Cold as space.
That was the number 2s. I'll pick Batman and
Yeah.
Robin.
Nostalgia critic hates the back credit card. Does not compute.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now we are on number 1.
Number 1. How can we top that? Number 1.
Number 1.
Rob, what's your number 1?
Okay. Now, virtually everybody hates these characters, and
Oh boy.
because of one very, very popular movie. The fact that they show up halfway through the movie, people don't really care for them. But these are actually 2 movies, but I like the second one more. And I just remember when I was younger, they showed this on TV, and I had to get this DVD. It's actually really rare. But I'm going to say this is definitely guilty pleasure because these movies are, they're really bad, but I enjoy them, and it is the Ewok movies.
Oh wow! I did not. Oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. The one I'm mainly talking about is Battle for Endor. I really like. For crying out loud, you got Wilford Brimley.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's adventure, and the Ewok characters are stupid. But I don't know what it is. I just like the I like the adventures they go on in the movies, like skeleton guys and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, Return of the Jedi, people didn't like the Ewoks in them, and they're unanimously hated. So, you know, these are rated very low. And, you know, yeah, I like them as guilty pleasures, to be honest. So, yeah.
And Warwick Davis is in both of them, right? That's Wicked or whatever.
What?
As Warwick Davis is in both of them. As the Ewok he played in Return.
Yeah, I believe he is. Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I'm just letting everybody know, if you haven't seen any of these, definitely check them out for yourself. Because don't believe all the hate and stuff. These are actually just fun films. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're hey.
All right, Thomas, number one.
My number one for guilty pleasure. This is an easy one for me. This is a really easy one. I mean, when I first saw this film, I knew this was my favorite guilty pleasure movie of all time. This is like one of the best ones ever.
Oh, motherfucker, that's my number one.
That's my
Yeah.
that's my number.
Oh,
We all three have number. You're telling me about Lisa. The Room
yes.
with Tommy
I didn't
Wiseau.
make my list. Definitely my guilty pleasure. Or it's definitely
Up there.
on my honorable mention. Yeah.
The Room itself with Tommy fucking Wiseau.
Yeah. Our Lord and Savior, Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, I mean, this was a no-brainer for me for the guilty pleasure, and since all three of us have the same number one, we can all talk about it at the same time.
What's
But
your favorite scene?
favorite scene in the movie? Oh, for me,
Yeah.
it's for me. Yeah, you mean like just like one small scene or like a really big scene?
Well, an entire scene or line or moment or whatever.
My favorite line. Well, I'm gonna say my favorite line, then my favorite whole scene in the movie.
Mhm.
So, my favorite line is, "I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not." Oh, hi, Mark.
That's fun. Like, that's a good
And my favorite whole scene in the movie is the fight at the party.
Mhm.
They're like pushing each other, and he's like, "Don't worry." He's like, "Don't touch me, motherfucker. Get out. Get out of my house." Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost Rob.
Oh, dear. We lost him.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
Uh-oh.
Let me try to get back here. Uh-oh. We are really having technical issues today.
Did he get knocked off?
I think he was just fine, and all of a sudden he just like disappeared. But let me see. Hold on. What the fuck? Hold on. Let me send him the link back in case he doesn't remember it. Okay. That's odd. Yeah, I don't know what happened. He was just like,
Was he looking at the camera and then he went off?
yeah. Uh-huh. Hold on.
Did his camera freeze or?
I don't know. Probably the same thing happened to me. Remember last week? I got booted off like out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Maybe that's the same thing that happened to him.
Is he on Facebook?
Yeah. He's just switching me right now. Hold on. He's coming back. Mhm. All right. What the fuck happened?
What the hell?
You all right there, Rob?
I looked this way, and then I got kicked off for no reason.
Yeah. We're just wondering like, what the hell happened. I get your connection.
Yeah, we were wondering something. We were afraid like something.
What?
I haven't on anymore. I'm like hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you like disappeared off the chat room.
Yeah, same thing happened to me last week. Remember, I got just booted off.
You got booted off.
Here,
No, it happened. It happened
I wonder-
3 times.
I wonder if this is an issue.
This is
I'm gonna. So I only got one
C word.
window open here. I'm gonna that.
It's the C word
No,
virus.
I have Facebook. I have Facebook up. I have Facebook up because if you have programs that run slow, I'm gonna get rid of it.
That's why when I click on the link to Facebook, I go out of Facebook, and then I just leave this window open.
I clicked
that might-
Facebook off, so maybe that whole.
That'll probably help.
Well, we're almost done here. We still have to get to our honorable mentions, but like we're about to,
Well, yeah, well, all me, Alex, and Dan have.
Tom was talking about his favorite parts and lines of the room.
Well, yeah, I didn't really get into detail because
I noticed
What's
when
that?
you guys were talking before that happened. I noticed before that happened, you guys were really like choppy.
Okay. Not anymore, right?
I don't know. I don't know if it's on my end or your end. I don't know.
Can you hear me fine?
I can hear you fine, but sometimes your video will be choppy.
Oh, like it'll freeze and then it'll like update.
And like, okay, can I say that again? At my end, it's only choppy to whoever's saying it's choppy. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
Rob-
sometimes on my end, like Rob's video is like he'll freeze a little bit, then he'll like move again. Like it's like that on my end, but I can hear him fine.
yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
But
Must
Well,
be on
I guess
mine.
StreamYard doesn't want us to have a good time tonight.
yeah, fuck you, Shrine.
Yeah, the video's been okay on my end, but the audio's been really crappy, like most of the time. Like it's not as bad as that one time, but it's getting to that point.
Well, maybe you can say this show will be a guilty pleasure for our viewers.
Yeah, exactly. But where was I at again? Oh yeah.
Your favorite parts of it.
Yeah, so I said my favorite line of the movie is, it's that is bullshit. I did not hit her. Oh, hi, Mark. And my favorite whole scene in the movie is at the party scene when they're fighting with one another, and like just some of the lines, don't touch me, motherfucker. Get out. Get out of my house. I kill y'all. You betray me. You're that good. You're just a chicken. Chip, 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 chip. Everybody betrayed me. I fed up with this world.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget another great scene. A dozen red roses. Keep the change. Hi, doggy. Bye.
One of my favorite parts is the whole scene with Denny and the drug dealer, Chris R. Denny, and then when they come and help him, like they're yelling at him, like, "Where'd you get those drugs, Denny?" I'm like, "Why'd you get drugs? Stop yelling at me! It's not like that."
What? Did you say something to me?
I didn't
No.
Oh, okay. I'm having a real hard time.
Okay.
The Room is nearly 20 years ago. Wow.
It's been that long? Shit.
It was 2003.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Oh.
And on top of it, and what was it? So remember out of the conversation, they're having like a random conversation, and it just says, how was your sex life?
Mm-hmm.
And there are scenes where they're just randomly tossing a football around.
Yeah, but the tuxedos.
And on the rooftop and things like that.
Dan, you want to discuss The Room?
I would like to just add. I'd like to just mention three things that are you guys might find interesting. One is, this was the only movie that definitively I knew right away. Like that's going to be my number one because the more I watch it, the more I like the movie. But you catch so many extra things the more you see it. For instance, the scene at the party where Tommy mentions that they're expecting a baby, which comes out of nowhere. If you watch that scene, it's so funny because you see Tommy walk into the room and he's looking at the floor because he's looking for his ex, Mark, where he's supposed to stop. So he gets to that point, then he looks up and he looks off camera and he sees someone signal him that he's supposed to have some dialogue. He nods like, oh, okay, it's time for me to talk. And then he says the line, oh, guess what we're expecting. It's little things like that just make the movie even better.
Mm-hmm.
I actually read the book by Greg Sestero, who plays Mark, the disaster artist. And I highly recommend it if you like the movie because it delves way deeper into the stuff. It was a great book, and of course, it pointed out little behind-the-scenes stuff. But the third thing I was going to mention is that so Tommy Wiseau has his own website. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to it, but it'd be like if in like the 90s when people were first starting to be able to make their websites, that's what his website looks like. It's got to be him that set up because there's so many spelling errors. It looks so generic, but you can buy like Tommy Wiseau underwear and stuff like that. But he sells his movie too. You can buy the movie, and if he says it on there, it's like, if you buy the movie from me, I will autograph a picture and I'll autograph the movie and send it to you. So I ordered it. I wanted that, so I ordered it from, and I'm in the basement, or else I'd go up and get it for you. But I ordered the Blu-ray, and so I have the Blu-ray of the room, and it's signed on it. And he says like "Love is Blind," Tommy Wiseau, and then he also sent his headshots, which he would give. He sent the picture as a headshot of him, and he signed that too. And he was like, "Dan, Love is Blind," or I forget exactly what he wrote on it. But so I have official signed stuff from him. It's just funny.
Wow.
They have like a screening of the movie every year in Chicago. I've never gone to it. I would do. You can meet Tom Wiseau. You can sign your autograph. Like you can take football or a cut of the movie or whatever. And yeah, I heard it's blast. I've seen clips of it on YouTube, like the screenings. They have their own kind of thing, kind of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, like fan participation.
And what's so great about it is he didn't set out to make a funny movie. I mean, that's why the movie is so good as a guilty pleasure, because he wanted to make it so serious, and it turned out to be a joke. And of course, now he's like, "Oh yeah, I meant to do that," which is not really the case.
Yeah.
But that's fun. We all had that.
And I didn't read the book like per se. Like I listened to the audio version of it, which is I recommend that like even more because like it's Greg Sestero narrating. He does like really great, spot on Tommy Wiseau impersonation when he's talking, when he's quoting him directly. Great, yeah. Adaptation, the book of the book that James Franco did. That was really good too.
Yeah, The Disaster Artist was great.
Yeah.
It was one of the best movies of 2017.
Yeah, it was probably
Without a doubt.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones. Rob, are you still having issues hearing us?
What?
Are you still having issues hearing us?
Yeah. You're cut. Every one of you you're all cutting out. Like I can't make up complete sentences.
Okay. Did you want to get out and then come back in? See if that works. Everything was fine before it kicked me off, but now it's like it's weird. Like the audio is not good. Okay. Did you want to get off and then come back on really quickly and see if that works?
I can try. I mean, it works.
Yeah, it does. Worth a shot. Before we wrap up. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, my audio's been pretty bad the whole time.
Yeah.
When Alex, when you were talking Girls, like I couldn't make any of that stuff out. Like I apologize.
No, it's
But
fine.
I don't think there's anything I can do about it.
Surprisingly enough, I never checked out any of the features on this DVD. Still, I never saw the deleted scenes in this movie.
The movie has deleted scenes.
Yeah, this DVD has deleted scenes,
Oh,
and it has an interview with Tommy Wiseau on here too.
I seen that interview, and I seen like a featurette of it.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing we forgot to mention is that the movie's overly dubbed.
Yeah.
Direction
Oh, yeah. And
heavily.
it's so funny. He had to go back and redub his own lines that sounded when they recorded it.
Right. How about now? Better?
I can hear you. I
Better?
can hear you.
Better?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, but I can hear you clear. It's just delayed a little bit.
Okay.
Oh,
let's go
okay.
before. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Let's wrap up with our honorable mentions. That stuff that we didn't.
Yep. I got them right here on my phone.
So Rob, you said you had plenty of them. You wanna?
No, actually, no. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, you didn't have any? Like, did you? I thought you had a few.
No, I had a few, but they're not really worth mentioning.
You
be honest.
Well, you mention one at least.
All right. AVP, I kind of like. That's kind of a guilty pleasure.
Oh, I think-
Yeah,
yeah. Oh boy.
that's it.
Okay.
Was that the first?
First one. I hate the second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thomas.
I have 6.
Oh Jesus.
I have 6 of them. Snakes on a Plane,
Oh, okay.
The Fanatic,
I knew you were gonna fucking mention that.
Dude, Where's My Car?
Okay.
The Wicker Man.
Yeah, I was wondering if someone was gonna mention that movie.
The Wicker Man. And the last. Oh no, I have 5. Sorry, that's 1, 2, 3. 4. No, I have 5. Sorry, not 6. I miscounted that. I have 5. And the last one I have is Double Team with Van Damme. It's with him and Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, did you have any ones that you wanted that didn't quite make the cut? Dan, did you have any that you wanted to mention that didn't make the cut? You're probably so.
No, I didn't have any.
Okay. I have one, and I'm kind of surprised you guys nobody mentioned this at all. I mean, that's Jingle All the Way.
I was actually thinking about being that as a guilty pleasure, but I'm like, is it really? Or
It is.
Yeah, I actually like the movie. I don't think it's a guilty pleasure.
It is for me. It's
put the cookie down now.
no honorable pick. I thought you guys would have more honorable picks. Most honorable movies are good though. But yeah, Jingle All the Way, fun little movie. Starring Jake Lloyd. Everyone here's favorite actor, right? Yeah, that's it. Pretty it for honorable mentions for me.
That's it for you.
Yeah, some of the movies you guys picked, like Mortal Kombat Annihilation and Jaws: The Revenge and Superman 4, like those, like to me, don't quite make it. Like they're close, but like I do think they're bad. Like, but they're close.
Like they're close to being a guilty pleasure, but you can't really consider it a guilty pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yeah, that's it, everybody. That's our pleasures. Yeah. sorry. I apologize for like the technical issues we had tonight. I didn't think we were gonna have that many. But it is what it is. Hopefully next time, everything gets better.
Let's hope so.
If you guys, I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but like, because most people are at home now, more people are using the internet, so like the connections are gonna have just problems. It's just like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, maybe that's I'm on a wireless connection on my phone, so maybe
Yeah.
that's what the problem is. But I might have to watch this again later because I mean, like I said, you guys look okay, but the audio was really bad. Sometimes I couldn't understand what was going on. So
mhm. But like I said, this episode is it's gonna be a guilty pleasure. I don't know, man.
Kenny mentioned that he loved Phil Hartman and Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, he was funny in that movie.
Yeah, but too bad he was shot to death in 1998. Yes, that is true.
Yeah,
He was murdered by his own wife.
yeah, that's sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is actually this is one of our shortest episodes. I thought it was gonna be longer. I mean, what is the technical issues?
Yeah.
We should go on for like 3 hours.
I know.
But yeah, that's fine. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Kenny, Forka, Chucky Doll.
So
Yeah, anybody else watches later on. Hope you guys enjoyed despite our audio issues and video issues or whatever.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
So next time.
Next time.
You guys want to say goodbye? Say goodbye. Yeah.
Adios.
Mhm.